Monrovia, Liberia, on the eve of a presidential election that will almost certainly return male rule to Liberia after 12 years, women delivered a warning. By the hundreds they came Monday, streaming through the mud and gathering on a grassy field in the Airfield Junction neighborhood, across the street from the residence of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first democratically elected female president in Africa, the most patriarchal of places. They wore white t-shirts and danced in front of a big sign. "Don't touch our peace," it said. In a rare move on a continent where strongmen leaders cling to power for decades, Sirleaf is stepping down at at the end of her constitutionally mandated term, and the women are giving the country back to the men. Only one woman is at the top of a ticket in Tuesday's election, and she is not expected to win. But across Monrovia, there is a palpable unease about whether the new president can build on one certain accomplishment of Sirleaf, keeping the country out of war. "We're giving the country back to them, and we don't know what they're going to do with it," said Ansata Garnett, a women's activist who joined other women rallying for peace on Monday. The message on her shirt added emphasis, "Remember our past." There is no question that Sirleaf is running on reserves when it comes to her political capital after 12 years, during which government corruption has continued unabated, the health system has remained in shambles and unemployment among young men remains high. But she has brought back electricity and running water throughout much of the country, built the roads that have enabled Liberians to travel freely from their villages to the cities, and allowed a level of freedom to criticize her leadership that is seldom seen in other African countries. Most critically, she has kept the peace. This country, founded by freed American slaves, has never done anything by half measures. Not disease. The 2014 Ebola epidemic killed 5,000 people in Liberia, more than anywhere else, entering the urban, densely populated capital of Monrovia and laying waste to the country's health system. Not war. The Liberian Civil War, begun in 1989, lasted 14 years, killed more than 200,000 people across 4 countries, and introduced the world to child soldiers, a butt-naked brigade and fighters clad in Halloween fright masks and white wedding gowns. And certainly not redemption. When the war finally ended, the pendulum swung so far that it imploded centuries of male domination on the African continent. In 2005, Liberian women, fed up with the widespread rape and indiscriminate killing that was a calling card of the Civil War, staged a democratic coup, using means both fair and foul to put in place Sirleaf as president. Now, near the end of her tenure, the women say ominous signs are cropping up. Last week, the male-dominated Liberian Senate moved to amend the rape law that was passed after the Civil War, which had made rape a non-bailable offense.